Welcome back. You've given us quite the reading list this time.
Oh, yeah.
Volumes 1, 2, and 3 of One World Uniting Voices. And yeah, they're packed with interviews with all sorts of fascinating people. We're going to do a deep dive into what really stood out to us.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, we're talking about spiritual insights.
Yeah.
People who are pioneering change how these folks are engaging the future. And then something you'll see kind of woven throughout all these interviews is this need for authentic human connection.
You're so right about that connection piece.
Yeah.
It really does jump out at you when you look at all these interviews as a whole, right? It's fascinating how many of these individuals, despite their diverse backgrounds and, different areas of expertise, they all seem to kind of be circling around this idea
Absolutely.
that genuine human connection is essential
Yeah.
for both personal and societal transformation.
Yeah, it's not just some feel-good mantra either.
No.
These folks are putting it into practice in really concrete ways.
I love that.
Take Costa Macraeus, for example, the founder of ET Let's Talk.
Mm-hmm.
He's encouraging citizen-led contact with star civilizations.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty out there.
Yeah, and he's urging people to open their hearts and minds to what he calls higher dimensions. Now, I know that might sound pretty out there to some folks.
Yeah, for sure.
But what struck me was his emphasis on connection.
Okay.
He believes that making contact with these beings requires a shift in consciousness, a move towards greater compassion and understanding.
It's interesting. What's fascinating about his approach is that he's not just talking about connecting with extraterrestrial beings.
Right.
He's talking about connecting with each other
Yeah.
in a more profound way. And he sees these potential encounters as a catalyst for human evolution, forcing us to confront our own limitations and embrace a more expansive view of reality.
And it's not just about interstellar meet and greets,
Right.
This theme of connection plays out in more grounded ways, too.
Oh, yeah. Like how?
Remember Jim from Volume 1?
Yeah, vaguely.
His simple advice to let go of what's not serving you
Oh, yeah.
really resonated with people.
I can see why.
Yeah. It's about recognizing when relationships, beliefs, or even material possessions are holding us back and having the courage to release them.
Yeah.
A lot of folks who wrote in said really resonated with them because they were feeling stuck.
Jim's advice is so powerful
Yeah.
because it speaks to this deeper need for authenticity.
Totally.
When we let go of what's no longer serving us, we create space for new connections, new experiences, and ultimately a more authentic expression of ourselves.
Like clearing out the clutter
Yeah.
to make room for something new and exciting.
I love that.
And speaking of new and exciting, this focus on connection leads perfectly into our next theme. Pioneering change.
Okay.
We see so many of these interviewees taking action, not just talking about it. It's not about waiting for someone else to fix things.
Yeah.
It's about rolling up your sleeves and getting to work.
That's so inspiring.
Totally.
What's striking is the diversity of approaches. You've got people like Anton from Volume 1.
Oh, yeah.
Who's reimagining urban spaces with his regenerative living projects.
Yes.
He's actually implementing something called vertical farming,
Wow.
where food is grown in stacked layers,
That's amazing.
minimizing land use and maximizing efficiency.
It's a fascinating example of how technology and nature can work together.
Totally.
He's not just talking about sustainability. He's creating a tangible solution.
Exactly.
It's so inspiring to see someone actually walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
And it's not just about physical spaces either.
Right.
You've got Dr. Pauline Crawford,
Oh, yeah.
also in Volume 1, advocating for a radical shift in how we approach education and business.
Oh, wow.
She's pushing for the integration of creativity and intuition, arguing that relying solely on logic is limiting our potential.
She actually uses a technique called intuitive mapping in her workshops,
Oh, wow.
where participants tap into their subconscious to unlock creative solutions and innovative ideas.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's a perfect example of how she's bringing these concepts to life, providing practical tools that people can use in their everyday lives.
Okay, so we've got people expanding our understanding of reality,
Yeah.
letting go of what's holding them back, and actively creating change.
Yes.
But they're not just focused on the present. They're also looking ahead, engaging the future in ways that go beyond the typical headlines.
Okay.
And what's fascinating to me is that it's not about predicting what's going to happen. It's about cultivating a mindset that allows us to navigate whatever comes our way.
That's a great point because, we're bombarded with so much information about the future.
Right.
And it's easy to get caught up in fear and anxiety.
Totally.
But these individuals are offering a different perspective.
Yeah.
They're encouraging us to embrace uncertainty, to become more resilient, adaptable, and Yes, connected.
Like George from Volume 2.
Okay.
He dives into the world of artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
But instead of getting bogged down in all the robots are going to take over hype,
Right.
he's focusing on practical advice for how people can thrive in a world where AI is increasingly prevalent.
Makes sense. What does he say?
Well, he talks about the importance of lifelong learning and critical thinking skills,
Yeah.
arguing that these will be essential for navigating the rapidly changing landscape of the future workplace.
That's smart.
It's not just about acquiring specific technical skills.
No.
It's about developing a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation, being open to new possibilities and embracing the unknown.
I like that.
And then you have someone like Stephen Bassett from Volume 1,
Okay.
who throws out this completely mind-blowing idea.
What's that?
Extraterrestrial disclosure could force humanity to finally collaborate on existential threats.
Whoa.
Talk about a bold vision for the future.
Yeah.
He's basically arguing that facing a common other
Right.
could be the catalyst for overcoming our differences and uniting as a species.
Wow.
It's a thought-provoking concept.
Oh,
Even if it seems far-fetched to some,
Yeah.
it challenges us to think outside the box and consider possibilities that we might not have entertained before.
I love that.
And it also highlights this theme of interconnectedness, which, as we've seen, is woven throughout these interviews.
It's like these individuals are all tuning into the same frequency,
Yeah,
even though they're coming from such diverse backgrounds and fields of expertise.
totally.
And that shared frequency, that common thread, seems to be all about the power of authentic human connection.
Exactly. And that brings us to our final theme for this part of the dive.
Okay.
A theme that's so deeply embedded in these interviews
Mm-hmm.
that it's almost impossible to separate it from the others.
Wow.
It's about recognizing that we're not isolated individuals,
Right?
but rather interconnected beings sharing a common journey.
I like that.
It's about moving beyond superficial interactions and cultivating genuine relationships built on trust, empathy, and shared values. And what's inspiring is how these individuals are modeling that authenticity in their own lives.
They're not just talking about connection, they're living it. Yeah. They're showing us that vulnerability can be a strength, that sharing our stories can be transformative, and that building meaningful relationships is essential for creating a better world.
Like Deborah from Volume 1.
Uh-huh.
Her advice to keep diaries or blogs isn't just about self-reflection.
Right.
It's about the transformative power of sharing our stories with others.
Okay.
She believed that when we share authentically, we create space for others to do the same, fostering a sense of connection and belonging.
That makes sense.
And then you have Robert, also from Volume 1,
Yeah.
talking about how networking should be relational, not transactional.
Oh, interesting.
He's advocating for building genuine connections based on trust and mutual value,
I love that.
which feels like a breath of fresh air in today's hyper-competitive world.
Yeah, totally.
It's about shifting our focus from what we can get to what we can give, from seeing people as transactions to seeing them as fellow human beings worthy of our respect and compassion. It's about recognizing that our well-being is intertwined, that our individual success is ultimately dependent on the well-being of the collective.
So we've got these incredible threads of spirituality, change, future thinking, and connection running through these first few volumes of One World Uniting Voices.
Yeah, and this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, wow.
We've got more fascinating stories and insights to uncover.
I can't wait.
So stay tuned for the next part of our deep dive, where we'll explore how these individuals are putting these ideas into action in even more concrete and inspiring ways.
Awesome. I'm ready. Welcome back to your deep dive into the One World Uniting Voices interviews.
It's amazing how much these conversations make you rethink things.
It really is.
It's like each interview is a key that unlocks a new door in your mind.
Oh, I like that.
And speaking of unlocking potential, I was really struck by Erica's story from Volume 1.
Oh, yeah. What about her?
She's faced some serious challenges, but instead of letting them define her, she approaches life with this incredible sense of humor, humility, and gratitude.
Her story is so powerful.
It is.
It's a great example of how we can choose our perspective, even in the face of adversity.
Right.
She talks about finding meaning in the most unexpected places and using her experiences to help others who are going through similar challenges.
She has this great quote.
Oh, what is it?
Life is too short to take ourselves too seriously.
Oh, that's good.
It's a reminder to find joy in the little things and not get bogged down by the weight of the world.
And that sense of lightness,
Yeah.
that ability to find humor and joy even in difficult times, it
Yeah.
really shines through in her interview.
It's contagious.
It
It
is.
makes you want to approach your own life with more playfulness and open-heartedness.
Speaking of inspiring perspectives, let's talk about Dennis from Volume 2.
Okay.
He has some really fascinating insights on leadership in a post-pandemic world.
What struck me about his approach is that he's not just focused on the practical skills of leadership.
Right.
He's also emphasizing the importance of compassion, understanding, and inclusivity.
He talks about the need for leaders to create a culture of psychological safety,
Yeah.
where people feel comfortable speaking up, sharing their ideas, and being vulnerable.
And he's not just talking about the workplace.
No.
He believes that these principles of compassionate leadership can be applied to all areas of life,
I like that.
from our families to our communities to our global interactions.
It's about recognizing that we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And that we need to support each other as we navigate the complexities of a rapidly changing world.
And it's not just about being nice or avoiding conflict.
Right.
He talks about having difficult conversations with empathy and understanding, seeking to find common ground, even when there are disagreements.
It's a very nuanced approach to leadership,
It is.
one that recognizes the importance of both strength and vulnerability.
Okay, so we've got Erica reminding us to find joy in the midst of challenges, and Dennis offering a new vision for leadership. But there's another interview that really blew my mind.
Oh, which one?
Lynn from Volume 1 and her research into near-death experiences.
Oh, wow.
Her work is absolutely fascinating.
It is.
She's interviewed hundreds of people who have had these profound experiences.
Wow.
And she's uncovered some really interesting patterns and insights.
Okay, what?
What I found most compelling was the consistency of the reports, regardless of the person's background, culture, or belief system.
Interesting.
There's this overwhelming sense of peace, love, and interconnectedness that seems to be a common thread.
And it's not just about the afterlife.
Right.
These near-death experiences often lead to profound changes in people's lives,
Totally.
inspiring them to live with more purpose, compassion, and gratitude.
It's like they're given a glimpse of something bigger than themselves,
Yeah.
something that transcends the limitations of our everyday reality.
And that glimpse can be incredibly transformative. It can shift our priorities, deepen our sense of connection to others, and inspire us to live more meaningful lives.
It makes you wonder if these experiences are a kind of wake-up call, a reminder that there's more to life than what we can see and touch.
It's a question that has intrigued philosophers and spiritual seekers for centuries.
It has.
And Lynn's research provides some compelling evidence that there may be more to our existence than we currently understand.
Okay, we've got near-death experiences, expanding our understanding of reality. But then you have someone like Brady from Volume 1, who brings it back down to earth with his practical advice on decision-making.
What's his advice?
His approach, which he calls sense-making,
Okay.
is all about quieting the mind, asking thoughtful questions, and tapping into both our intuition and our intellect.
Interesting.
He talks about how we often get caught up in overthinking and analyzing,
Yeah.
which can lead to paralysis by analysis.
Right.
He encourages us to trust our gut instincts and listen to our inner wisdom.
What does he suggest we do?
He actually recommends a simple practice of taking a few deep breaths, connecting with our body, and asking ourselves, what feels right in this moment?
It's such a simple yet powerful technique
It is.
for cutting through the noise and accessing that deeper knowing within ourselves.
And it's a skill that can be applied to any decision.
Totally.
Whether it's choosing a career path, navigating a difficult relationship, or simply deciding what to have for dinner.
It's about empowering ourselves to make choices that are aligned with our true values and aspirations.
Exactly. And speaking of empowerment, we have to talk about Sophia from Volume 2.
Okay, what about her?
Her work with Imagine Life is all about helping people break free from societal expectations and create lives that are truly fulfilling.
That sounds amazing.
I love her mantra. The best self is the expression of the core self.
Oh, I like that.
It's a reminder that we all have unique gifts and talents to share with the world, and that true fulfillment comes from aligning with our authentic self.
How does she suggest people do that?
Well, she talks about the importance of identifying our passions, our values, and our purpose, and then using those as guiding principles for how we live our lives.
That makes sense.
She also talks about the importance of self-compassion and letting go of the need to be perfect.
Oh, that's so important.
She encourages people to embrace their imperfections and see them as opportunities for growth and learning.
It's about giving ourselves permission to be fully human with all our
Yes.
flaws and complexities.
And it's about recognizing that our imperfections are often what make us unique and interesting.
Okay, so we've got people embracing their authentic selves, making tough decisions with clarity, and even exploring the mysteries of consciousness through near-death experiences. It's amazing how these interviews touch on so many different aspects of the human experience.
It's a testament to the richness and diversity of human consciousness.
It is, and we're not done yet.
Oh, right.
We still have a whole other volume of One World Uniting Voices to explore with even more fascinating perspectives on technology, artificial intelligence, and the future of work.
I'm especially curious to hear what these individuals have to say about the intersection of technology and spirituality.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It's a topic that's becoming increasingly relevant as technology continues to evolve at an exponential rate.
It's a conversation that's just beginning to unfold.
It is.
And these interviews offer some valuable insights into how we can navigate this uncharted territory with wisdom and compassion.
Okay.
So buckle up.
All right.
We're about to dive into the fascinating world of how technology is shaping our present and our future.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into One World Uniting Voices. You know, going through these interviews, it's clear that technology isn't just about gadgets and algorithms.
Oh, yeah.
It's a powerful tool that's shaping our world in profound ways. And these folks are really grappling with both its potential and its challenges.
Yeah, it's a theme that runs throughout these conversations.
It does.
These individuals are exploring how technology can be used to enhance our lives, connect us in new ways, and even help us evolve as a species.
Like Jenny Tyler from Volume 2.
Oh, yeah. What about her?
She's doing some incredible work in the field of bioenergetics,
Okay.
using cutting-edge technology to make the invisible visible.
Wow. Like how?
We're talking real-time environmental monitoring systems, voice spectral analysis, and even quantum-driven diagnostics.
That's amazing. What is she doing with all that?
She's using these tools to measure and understand the subtle energies that flow through our bodies and the environment.
Oh, wow.
She's bridging the gap between science and spirituality, showing us that these two realms aren't mutually exclusive.
That's really cool.
She has this great analogy where she compares the human body to an orchestra.
Oh, I like that.
Each organ, each cell is playing its own unique tune. And when everything is in harmony, we experience health and well-being.
Right.
But when things get out of sync, it can lead to disease. And she's using technology to help us fine-tune our individual instruments and create a more harmonious symphony.
I love that analogy, and it highlights the potential for technology to help us understand and optimize our health and well-being in ways we never thought possible.
And it's not just about physical health. She's also exploring the energetic and spiritual aspects of well-being, using technology to measure things like chakras and auras.
That's pretty out there.
It is pretty mind-blowing stuff.
It challenges us to expand our understanding of what's possible and to consider the interconnectedness of all things.
Speaking of interconnectedness, let's talk about Manoj from Volume 3.
Okay.
He's an expert in artificial intelligence, but he also has this deep understanding of spiritual principles.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to explore the intersection of those two seemingly disparate worlds.
What does he say about it?
He actually sees AI as a potential tool for enhancing collective consciousness.
Oh, wow.
He talks about how AI can help us process vast amounts of information, identify patterns, and make connections that we might not be able to see on our own.
That makes sense.
He even believes that AI platforms like ChatGPT can be used to foster deeper understanding and facilitate meditative states.
It's a very different perspective on AI than what we typically hear in the media.
He's challenging us to think beyond the dystopian narratives and consider the possibility that AI can actually help us evolve as a species.
So we've got people measuring subtle energies with quantum technology and exploring the spiritual potential of AI.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that technology is going to continue to play a major role in shaping our future. Yeah. But the question is, how do we ensure that this technology is used for good? How do we prevent it from becoming a force for division and destruction?
Right, that's the million-dollar question.
It is.
And it's something that many of these individuals are grappling with. They're not just blindly embracing technology. They're asking tough questions about its ethical implications and its potential impact on society.
Like Stefan from Volume 2.
Okay.
He's a strong advocate for a more compassionate and sustainable world, and he sees technology as a key tool for achieving that vision. But he's also aware of the potential pitfalls.
Yeah, like what?
He talks about the importance of developing ethical guidelines for the development and use of technology, ensuring that it serves humanity rather than exploiting it.
He's got a point.
He's particularly concerned about the concentration of power in the hands of a few tech giants. and the potential for AI to be used for surveillance and control.
So what does he suggest we do?
He's calling for a more decentralized and democratic approach to technology, one that empowers individuals and communities rather than concentrating power in the hands of a select few.
I like that.
And he's not just talking about it, he's actively working to create solutions. He's involved in several initiatives that are developing non-carbon energy technologies and promoting collaborative governance models.
It's inspiring to see someone who's not just identifying the problems, but also taking concrete steps to address them.
And he's not alone.
Mm.
There are so many individuals in these interviews who are using their knowledge and expertise to create a better world.
Like who?
Like Daniel Christian Wall from Volume 2.
Okay.
He's a passionate advocate for regenerative design,
What's that?
which is all about creating systems that are not just sustainable, but actually beneficial for both humans and the planet.
Interesting. What does he say about it?
He talks about shifting from a mindset of extraction to regeneration, from competition to collaboration.
I see.
He's calling for a radical redesign of our economic and social systems,
Mm.
one that's based on principles of interconnectedness, sustainability, and abundance.
That would be amazing.
He has this great quote, "We are not separate from nature, we are part of nature."
It's true.
It's a reminder that our well-being is inextricably linked to the health of the planet. And it's a call to action to reimagine our relationship with the natural world and create a future where both humans and the planet can thrive.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the One World Uniting Voices interviews, I'm left with a sense of both hope and urgency.
Great to
Hope, because these individuals are showing us what's possible when we combine knowledge, compassion, and a deep commitment to making a difference.
Right.
And urgency, because the challenges we face are real and require our immediate attention.
I agree. We're at a pivotal moment in human history, and the choices we make today will determine the course of our future.
But these interviews offer a roadmap for navigating this uncertain terrain.
They do.
They remind us that we're not alone, that we have the power to create a better world, and that the time to act is now.
So as you go about your day, I encourage you to keep these voices in mind. Let their wisdom and insights guide your actions, and remember that even small acts of kindness, compassion, and courage can have a ripple effect that extends far beyond ourselves. Keep diving deep, keep asking questions, and keep striving to create a world that reflects the best of humanity. Until next time.